Hey everyone, it's Courtney. Welcome back to my channel. So today's video is super long overdue. I have been wanting to film this video for probably well over 6 months now, and I just keep forgetting to do it. But I remember today that I wanted to do this, so I wanted to sit down with you guys and finally film this video. So as you can tell by the title, I took a 23andMe DNA test kit. So if you have not heard of the whole DNA testing thing, apparently you must live under a rock because it has been quite popular, especially within the past 2 years. I know the two most popular ones I have heard of are Ancestry and 23andMe. Now I want to start off by saying that this video is not sponsored. They did not send me anything. I bought this myself and I did this myself. So unlike quite a few YouTubers who are sent these for free, mine is just, you know, the average consumer going out and buying this and having the testing done just like everybody else. So I was initially looking at Ancestry first to see if I was going to try them or 23andMe, and after watching a lot of YouTube videos from people who have done the DNA testing, I actually liked how 23andMe did their testing. I liked the results better. I liked how it looked and just the overall feel of it. I just thought that 23andMe would be a better fit, so that is what I bought. I ordered my test kit in July of 2018. So all I had to do once my 23andMe package arrived is you just have to spit like in this little vial type thing, and then you package it back up and you send it off. Now with 23andMe, you are able to track the process online. It does take a little while for things to start going and you can track, but I did like that experience so I could kind of see where like my sample was, you know, whether it was being tested or analyzed or whatever. So that part was nice. Now when I sent mine in, 23andMe was in the process of, they were doing some sort of change. I don't know if it was like with their servers or something, but there was like a little message that said that it might take a little longer for my test results to come in, and it did. So like I said, I sent my test off sometime in July of 2018, and I got my results back in the middle of September 2018. So before I get into my results, I kind of want to talk about why I chose to do DNA testing. So with my family, my parents are divorced, and with my dad's side, I kind of had an idea of their like heritage. Granted, I don't know a whole lot, but I do have a little bit of information, like, you know, where they come from and things of that nature. On my mom's side, there are some things that are really just kind of like unknown. My biological grandfather, I only met him once in my life, and just I have no information about him and his family or any sort of thing. Rough ideas, but just I don't know a whole lot. And then with my maternal great-grandmother, she never knew who her biological father was. So there was complete blank there, you know, no clue of her heritage or that sort of lineage. And with her mother, I don't really know anything there, so I just had a lot of questions, mostly from my maternal side, but again, there still could be some things on my father's side that I don't know either. So I just kind of wanted to have a little bit of knowledge as to find out what makes up me. So prior to taking this test, if you would have asked me what am I probably would have said that I am part French, part Irish, and perhaps a little bit of Native American. That is kind of what I was kind of told, and that's kind of what I always thought. But I wanted to have the actual information, and I have it to share with you guys, so let's get into the results. So I'm on my 23andMe profile right now, and the first thing that it says is I am 100% European, which that actually kind of shocked me because I really was kind of thinking that I might have some other influences, you know, in my bloodline, but no, I am 100% European. So yeah. So from that 100% European, they break it down into 86.3% Northwestern European. And then that number gets broken down again. So 48.1% of that is British and Irish, and it says United Kingdom and Ireland. Then the next number is 24.9% French and German, and then below that it says France. So I kind of knew that I was French. I get that from my dad's side, and I kind of had the feeling that it was France, so that part wasn't really shocking. The next part is 0.5% Scandinavian, and then 12.8% broadly Northwestern European, which according to 23andMe, that includes places as far west as Ireland, as far north as Norway, as far east as Finland, and as far south as France. So that kind of does like a broad general. Sometimes they have a hard time, you know, actually pinpointing your exact DNA to a spot. So it kind of gives like a rough estimate. So this next part is kind of what really shocked me because I just didn't see this coming. So this category is Southern European, and I am 13%. And then that percentage gets broken down to 9.9% Spanish and Portuguese. That just blew my mind. I was just completely shocked when these results came back and it said that I was part Spanish or Portuguese. I was just stunned because I never would have thought in my life that I had any Spanish blood in me at all. I don't know, I just had no clue, you know, I never thought of it. But I actually think it's really cool. When I was in high school, I loved taking Spanish classes. I took Spanish for 2 years when I was in high school. And I loved, you know, learning about the cultures, you know, different Spanish speaking countries and their cultures. I loved learning about that. What's actually kind of funny is when I was in high school in my second year of Spanish, my Spanish teacher, she was from, I want to say she was from Mexico or Guatemala. She was from somewhere in that region of the world. And we used to have to, you know, learn to roll our R's and stuff. And I remember she came to me one day because I was, you know, doing it. And she's like, oh my goodness, you can roll your R's like, you know, someone who speaks Spanish, you know, just, you know, fluently. And I thought that was kind of funny at the time, like, oh yeah, that's cool. But now it's kind of like, it's kind of in my blood, you know? So that's actually really neat. Now, before anyone comments, yes, I know that Portugal, you know, they speak Portuguese, not Spanish, but it is fairly close and related, so, you know, we're good. So the next part of the Southern European is broadly Southern European, 3%. It says Southern Europe, including the Iberian, Italian, and Balkan peninsulas, as well as the island of Malta, is a region defined in great part by the Mediterranean Sea. So I have some sort of DNA from somewhere in that vicinity, so it could be any one of those places. They just can't pinpoint that one as well, but there's that. So the last part that makes up me is just broadly European. This makes up 0.8%, and basically it is any country in Europe. They just really could not pinpoint where my DNA came from, but somewhere in one of the European countries. So the next part that I'm scrolling down to is my ancestry timeline, and this kind of goes by generation, so you can kind of see where these influences were, you know, in your generation timeline. So for me, going back, the farthest that they show is Scandinavian. That was 5 to 8 generations ago. Then Spanish and Portuguese is 4 to 7 generations ago. French and German 2 to 4 generations ago, and British and Irish 1 to 3. So that's pretty cool that I can kind of get a timeline as to when everything was integrated in. Another thing that 23andMe has is your Neanderthal ancestry. So it says in here that Neanderthals were ancient humans who were interbred with modern humans before becoming extinct 40,000 years ago. This report tells how much of your ancestry can be traced back to Neanderthals. So I have 297 Neanderthal variants, and it says that this is 82% more than most 23andMe customers. So I am like seriously, strongly a Cape woman. I mean, that's just so funny. But yeah, so I can actually scroll down a little bit and it will tell you, you know, certain characteristics that you kind of like get from the Neanderthal side. And for me, the variant that I have, it says that I have one Neanderthal variant associated with having less back hair. So that's just so funny. I mean, I don't have back hair, but I wonder if that's more towards like the male, you know, if I was a guy, if that would be more like, you know, if I was a guy, I wouldn't have much back hair. I don't know. That's just funny though, that I'm like cave woman. But at least I don't have, you know, the stereotypical hair like a cave woman. So that's good. That's just so funny. So that is essentially everything that I learned from my 23andMe test kit. I am really glad that I did take this test because it really just kind of gives me some information about myself that I don't think I would have ever had the chance to find out, you know, because the people that would have, you know, maybe some answers to my questions, you know, they're all deceased now, and they were never really like a part of my family or anything like that. So it's just kind of nice to know where you came from. So down below in the bottom bar, I will have a link to 23andMe, and I believe I have like a referral code that might save you some money off. So if you're interested, go check down below in the bottom bar because I will have the information for you there. The other awesome thing about 23andMe is that, you know, when other people take these DNA test kits, if they match up with you, it will actually show on 23andMe. You can see how you're related to certain people. Since I've taken my DNA test kit, I have found, I think, over 1,100 relatives, you know, like DNA relatives. And the way that 23andMe does it is they break it up and it will show you, you know, like what part of the world they're from. And then you can kind of go in even closer, you kind of see like what part of, like, you know, the United States. They'll show what part of the United States they're from. And some of them have pictures and information about themselves, so you can reach out to people, you can talk to them. You don't have to, you know, be a part of that. But if you choose to, you can. And it's just kind of neat. So if you're interested in, you know, learning more about your family and maybe connecting with people, 23andMe does have that option, and I think it is really awesome. So I also know that 23andMe, I think they also do like a health report as well. It does cost more money. I didn't do that, but they do have the option as well. So if you wanted to learn more about, I think it's things that you might be predisposed to health-wise, they have that as well. So that's pretty cool too. But like I said, if you're interested, I will have information for you down below, and I'm pretty sure I have a referral code that will save you some money. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, hit the notification bell, that way you're notified when I do an upload. Alright guys, I will see you in my next video. Bye.